Good morning. I'm sorry I'm not able to attend this Sustainability and Technology Forum in person, but it's a great pleasure to be able to open this event via video link. In fact, this is a most appropriate event to open via video link, given the focus will be on using information and communication technology to cut emissions and to cut costs. This is clearly a primary example of the benefits we can gain when we use technology innovatively. This is particularly true when we look at the issue of tackling climate change and reducing Australia's emissions. There is no greater challenge than climate change, and addressing climate change requires commitment to reform. The Rudd government has a comprehensive approach to climate change based on three pillars: reducing carbon pollution, adapting to the climate change we can't avoid, and helping to shape a global solution. The policies we put in place to address climate change will transform our economy in coming decades. The Carbon Pollution Reduction Scheme will, for the first time, put a price on carbon. For the first time, we will build the cost of climate change into all of our decisions. A carbon price will drive investment in the low carbon technologies and the low pollution jobs of the future. And the CPRS will give businesses an incentive to reduce the carbon intensity of their operations. It will encourage Australian companies to factor energy use and their emissions into their daily decision making. As people who work on sustainability and technology, you will take the lead in helping businesses make the transition to a low-carbon economy. And the government will play its part in assisting businesses to both improve their energy efficiency and reduce their carbon pollution. As part of this, the government has created the Climate Change Action Fund to provide targeted assistance to smooth the transition to a low-carbon economy. This fund will have an information stream that will provide a suite of information to SMEs and to large industrial businesses about the operation of the Carbon Pollution Reduction Scheme. The government will communicate with business about issues that may be preventing the uptake of energy efficiency schemes or low pollution practices. The fund's capital investment stream will deliver capital allowances and competitive grant funding to encourage business to invest in low emission technologies, processes and products. In particular, the Innovation in Climate Change program will provide competitive grant funding to contribute to the cost of innovative low-emission technologies, production methods, supply chain improvements and energy savings projects. In addition, the government has committed more than $70 million to establish the Australian Carbon Trust. The Trust will manage two initiatives: the Energy Efficiency Savings Pledge Fund and the Energy Efficiency Trust. $50 million in seed funding has been allocated to the Energy Efficiency Trust, and the aim of this trust is to demonstrate innovative approaches to business energy efficiency and investment. The eventual goal is to both showcase and mainstream these pioneering proposals. And the Trust will also go further. It will go to areas where existing programs are failing to fully address energy efficiency improvements. For example, at present there are significant cost-effective carbon reduction opportunities in commercial buildings, yet there are barriers preventing capital investment in these opportunities. This is exactly the kind of work the Trust should be tasked with examining. The government also committed $64.6 million in the last budget to support early start energy efficiency measures. Our government is leading by example by working to improve energy efficiency and energy performance within our own operations. And over the next 4 years, $1.2 million has been committed to improve energy efficiency in government workplaces. And my own Department of Climate Change will renovate the 20-year-old offices it currently occupies to reduce the average office energy load to no more than 75% of its original rating, and to achieve a 5-star rating under the National Australian Built Environmental Rating System. The completed project will showcase a number of environmental initiatives as a way of encouraging modification of existing buildings to improve energy performance. We also know ICT can play an important role in helping businesses tackle emissions and energy use. The Department of the Environment, Water, Heritage and the Arts, in partnership with the Department of Finance and Deregulation, is developing a whole-of-government information, communication and technology plan. In February this year, the Finance Minister, Lindsay Tanner, announced that the government would be working with Telstra to implement the Cisco telepresence system as part of the government's teleconferencing project. The telepresence system project is one of the Australian government's initiatives as part of the National Strategy on Energy Efficiency. The telepresence network will deliver a high-quality, secure video conferencing capability for federal and state governments. In total, the network will comprise of 20 individual sites across the country, comprising locations in Commonwealth and state offices. At present, expenditure across government for domestic air travel is approximately $280 million a year. In contrast, the telepresence facilities are expected to cost around $4 million a year, after initial capital set-up costs. And the project will allow meetings relating to COAG and ministerial councils to take place without air travel, a new concept. It will also help to significantly reduce the government's carbon emissions and minimise time lost to travel. The completed network is expected to be in place by June 2010, and this is just one of the examples of the different types of technologies that can and will be used in the future to reduce our carbon footprint while still retaining our connectivity and information sharing. And this video is yet another illustration of what can be achieved when we think creatively about new forms of communicating via technology. So I thank you again for the opportunity to open, by video, the Sustainability and Technology Forum. I'm sure it will be a thought-provoking opportunity to learn more about the transition to a low-carbon economy. Thank you.